U.S. Representative in the 2nd Congressional District of Kentucky, Brett Guthrie.
Thank you very much. It's been great to be in Marion County almost all day. Unfortunately, the occasion earlier today was losing of the police chief. But what a wonderful community and place to be. First, before I say, I'm just going to be brief. We got a lot of speakers here to speak today. I got to recognize, really, when you elect somebody to Congress, you're also hiring a staff. Because they all work for you. They don't work for me, they work for all of us. I'm members of the 2nd District. I have Steve Bill, I'm going to point out first. Of course, he's in the back taking pictures. He's a representative. He's lived in Marion County, he lives in Shelby County, but he's our field rep for Marion County. We appreciate having him. The other one is Brian Smith, he's our economic development rep. If you look at him, he's smiling. The other day I said, how's your girlfriend doing? He said, well, I don't have a girlfriend anymore. I thought, awful, but she's a wonderful lady. I said, oh my goodness. He said, she's now my fiance. So that's why I smiled. He said, if you look over and see, you can see why. So proud for him. But they work really hard. There's really a couple of funding streams that your federal tax dollars. And one is by Ron Lewis. A lot of times when you elect in office, you get to show up across the finish line for work somebody else did. But Ron Lewis was able to get a $250,000 grant through the federal budget. And I saw him last night. He was going to be here. He sent his regards. He loves Marion County. It's a beautiful place. I've been from the other side of Loretta to here to Lebanon today, and every time you go around the curve, which you do, you see this is more stunningly beautiful scene. This is a wonderful terrain. But even better than that, people. And that's why we're here for community centers. And one other grant that came forth was $1 million. And I wasn't going to bring it up because actually I didn't vote for the overall package. It was the stimulus money that you hear moving forward. Because I don't think you want to take credit for stuff you didn't vote for. But I won't bring it up for this reason. When President Obama first talked about his stimulus bill, the economy is going forward, and when it was first discussed, it was roads, bridges, highways, buildings, and infrastructure. And I had been state senator and state senator of transportation chairman, knew all the work we needed to do. And I said, I'm not just against it because he's for it. It became a bigger and other issues were in the bill. But the bottom line was, I was talking to somebody one day, and he said, I'm going to be against the bill. And I said, well, think about it. We're borrowing from our children and grandchildren, which we are. And when you borrow and consume, that's not a good thing. Most of the stimulus bill was. But I'll tell you this, when you borrow to build, and your grandchildren and great-grandchildren get to use it, that's a different ballgame. And I pointed out to a friend of mine, I said, look back in the 1930s, look, they borrowed and built. And you got the Supreme Court building, Federal Triangle, and you can point to almost most of the D.C. was really built in the 1930s. And that's what this was, 1936. It was built with the work in progress, which some people thought that's what this bill was going to be. And here we are, 75 years later, still standing in the building. You got to redo it every now and then, and that's fine. But to think about, people have the vision, not just to build buildings, as you've been doing. I love the work in progress administration buildings. Not just build buildings, but build them that have local character, local touch, historical. You can build a building that 75 years later doesn't look like a piece of history, which this one does. It was done right. It was done correctly. And as we continue to develop and grow as a country, we're going to get back countries and grow. I'm optimistic. We're going to continue to be the great country that we are. There's a lot of work to do to get there. We're going to do it. But as we grow, what we seem to be losing, I know in Warren County, where I'm from, around Bowling Green, is the local character of the communities. And I can say that about Warren County, is that Bowling Green seems to be taking over the entire county, so we're getting used to be citizens of Alberton, they're now essentially neighborhoods of Bowling Green. And that's regrettable in a lot of ways. Not that we're not growing and providing opportunity, but that local communities, a lot of times, lose the character and what made them special, especially the families that live there. So when we can do that, that's what I'm excited about. When you build, so it's going to be there for the children and grandchildren. And when you build in a way that keeps the integrity and the beauty and a place where people can gather and tell, I'm sure there's, I know this is closed in the late 50s, so the high school class, many people sit there and tell the stories, but I was sitting with several people at Bradfordsville who tell stories about the football games they played and the things that they did. That's what makes it distinguished, and that's what makes it special, and that's what this building can be a place where people can gather and remember the great times and the great future not just about preserving the past as the model says, it's about building a great future for American for Bradfordsville. And well, I always stick with the money in the budget. As it came time to use it, sometimes you've got to run through the bureaucracy to get it. And Brian Smith was on the phone daily to try to make sure it came. Let's say when you hire funders, when you hire staff, and I've been blessed, and you've been blessed to have a couple of the best in Steve and Brian. I appreciate the work. You look at Brian over there with his beautiful fiance, you'll see why he's a happy man. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Now we have Miss Allison Stacker, who's going to do a song.
In your city, you're the king of these people, you're the Lord of this nation.